Welcome to episode 84 of The Awkward Tapes, the podcast where awkward friends have awkward conversations about awkward things. We have been doing this podcast for 1 year.
Woo! Woo! Yeah.
And in honor of our 1 year anniversary, we have kicked Zach off the podcast.
Yeah,
we were done with him.
time.
He was too bald for us. It's a haired only podcast. Haired or
Yep,
beans.
sorry.
You got hair under there, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not urine.
No, Zach was sick, which is going to be a yearly thing for him because on our first episode, first ever episode, when our name wasn't even The Awkward Tapes, he was sick and could not be there, as was Leighton, but he's here.
Yeah, I wasn't on it though.
So,
I was like too sick. I was
Yeah.
like, nah.
so Zach, in a year, let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Same
buddy.
time
sick.
next year?
Yeah, same time next year.
Also, wait, what day does this come out again?
What day does this come out?
Yeah, what day is it
Thursday.
today?
Today is the 27th, or 1 year. So, okay.
All right, so
Last
then happy
episode-
late birthday to Zach is all I was going to
Yeah,
say.
happy late birthday.
Yeah.
We'll celebrate it in July, buddy.
Yeah.
As always.
I said on the Christmas episode that our 1 year was the 28th. I was wrong. On YouTube, it's the 26th. On Spotify and Apple Podcasts, it's the 27th. Because we had like a little trouble uploading it.
There was a huge learning gap to try to
Yeah.
figure out how to get it on other platforms that are audio.
Yeah. So I would say the 26th would be our anniversary because that's, Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But
beginning,
That's
the
the
beginning.
if you will.
Yeah.
And I will. So
He
so yeah,
did.
we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But for 1 year, we got to have a Presley thought.
All right.
So,
yeah.
All right, Presley, we're ready for... Well, are we ready, though? I say we're ready. I don't think we are.
No one can truly be ready for these thoughts.
Never.
If you think about it, that's when you know it's going to be good.
please give a pause.
If you think about it, airports are just kind of like post offices for humans.
Yeah, they are.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
That is good.
How
I
do
like
you
it.
Oh, and
feel
our
about that?
passports are... they're the
Postage
stamps.
stamps.
Yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
How about that?
I like
I
that.
like it.
Because we get shipped.
From location to location.
We are very expensive mail, though.
Yeah, we
Because,
are.
oh my gosh, even the cheapest plane tickets are just...
Well, the best part about, another, similarity between just like packages you ship in post offices and airplanes. My favorite part of getting in a plane is when I get boxed up and they tape me in there. And then I don't even know like what it's like until I arrive at the destination.
You just get thrown around.
I just get thrown around. That's easily my favorite part about it.
Oh,
It's
you do?
dark. You can't see anything.
At least you get same-day shipping most of the time.
You don't even know that because you can't see anything. You don't even have
You
your
don't
phone.
know
or
why.
What
watch
kind
anything.
of what kind of plane rides are you taking?
Just the normal,
Just the normal 35-hour plane rides?
Yeah, however long. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to stop to refuel the plane at any
last
point in there.
class,
No.
Last class.
not first class.
Oh.
That was a joke.
You'll be a great dad.
All right. Well,
But that's all you'll ever be with those jokes.
yeah. Happy 1 year, guys. We're back.
I'm wearing the same hoodie.
Let's do this thing. 1 year episode incoming. Thank you for coming back. This is episode 84, but also our 1 year. I'm going to emphasize that so many more times. Prepare yourself for a session of awkwardness. And we back. Like we've said, I don't know, 8 times already. This is our 1 year episode. We might get deep. We might cry.
Emotional.
You never know. Yeah, Leighton's been crying the whole time we've been here. He can't take it.
It's too much emotion to handle.
Yeah.
Presley's going to get political.
Yep.
As
Yep.
always.
Like we said, Zach wasn't able to be here because he's sick, but he sent me a little text message talking about the past year,
Which was emotional, probably.
which was emotional. I can't read. And so when he sent me this, I'm like, how am I supposed to?
Oh, yeah,
So-
but Shmev did take a master class in reading, so he's
Yeah,
able to get
just
through
really
this.
quick.
But I do like how you emphasize he didn't just send a text message; he sent a text
A
message.
text message.
You also have to lean forward this
An
much. Text
email.
message.
It's like talking to some relatives over this past weekend.
Yeah.
I turned on the
Can't smash
television.
Television.
The television.
So this is from Zach. Looking back, I won't stutter. Looking back on this past year, I've gotten to witness greatness with every single one of my fellow co-hosts. I don't think any of us would have guessed we'd come this far, from brand partnerships to magazine articles. I'm so happy we can bring joy to each and every one of our listeners. Before we started this podcast, I would have called each of you my friend, but I can safely say now that I can call you all my family.
I didn't know where it was going.
We've shared many laughs and put a lot of work into this, and at the end of the day, this is something all of us can be and should be proud of. I don't know what the future holds or how far we'll go, but so long as I can share a laugh with all of you along the way, I'll be there. What can I say? You're my favorite people to be awkward with. Bald Man Zach. P.S. Favorite moment by far was Leighton gifting me woman's lingerie. Who would have thought my bald head would be so sexy in lingerie? By the way, Presley, you and Shmev are the best couple I've ever seen in my life, and I wish you not. No, that he didn't say that. That's just me. That's from Zach.
Nice.
Wow.
That was good.
Yes. Also, if anybody hasn't seen the episode on Christmas Day, well, now you know.
Zach
got
was
Zach a
gifted
special
some
gift.
lingerie.
Yeah.
Calendar incoming. Yeah. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about Zach's text?
It was emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a bald man, there's surprisingly a lot of good words in there.
Yeah. All right. So, when we talk about our favorite parts from the last year, what do we think about?
Oh, okay. Is it all right if I take it
Go
off
ahead.
or something? Just go with it. All right. I absolutely loved your first 4 Presley thoughts. Those are forever just some of my favorites. 'Cause
Iconic.
The very first episode, we didn't have any, but then the second episode, you had your first ones. And I remember, because those were my first Presley thoughts, I knew they were going to be, like, out there some. I didn't exactly know what to expect. And oh my gosh, those 4 were just... do you remember them, Presley?
One was like, "What do dogs lick us because there's bones underneath our
That's
skin?"
the one that sticks out to me.
Yeah.
Beef jerky is just cow raisins.
Yes.
Lasagna was the next one. That wasn't
That
that,
was
That
later.
was episode 3, I think,
or 4. One of the
or
two.
4. Yeah, 4 with Chris. The third, what was it?
What are the other
Hold
ones? Do you
on.
know them?
Butter is
No,
something's a loaf of milk.
it was...
Cheese is a
cheese
loaf
is
of
a
milk.
loaf.
Yes,
milk.
cheese is just a loaf of milk. And then Zach looked distraught, so I said, "A loaf of cream."
Yeah, that exact face too.
Oh, yes.
A
No,
loaf
just,
of cream.
I just remember when you said pretty much a year back. Just, I remember when you said those, I'm just like, is this really what I'm going to be getting every week?
What was the other one?
Oh yeah,
I forget. It was loaf of cream, cow raisins,
dogs licking.
dogs
us 'cause
licking
of
us.
the
Oh no! And then
bones.
this one's probably the dumbest one. Do we wash our hands or do our hands wash
That's
ourselves
right.
or whatever it was? That was such a stupid one. Stop with the smug look.
And well,
it stuck with you.
we can
That it
never.
did.
I will say.
We can never forget Presley's first Presley.
The thought that will never be shared,
never be
will
shared.
never be publicized.
Just know
Out
it's
of
a-
context, whoo, canceled.
Just know that it's worse than you thought. Presley's a horrible human being.
Yeah, I
was
just
pretty
don't.
bad.
Just won't let you know it.
Yeah.
Hashtag
But we'll
cancel
keep talking
Presley
about
Parker.
it.
Oh, we're always gonna talk about it, and you're
And
never
no
gonna
one-
get it.
Yeah.
But until one day.
No one will ever share it.
Yes, but all right. Oh wait, Leighton, you were going to say something.
Well, I was just gonna say like what y'all were going off of. I think we have improved a lot. So you said like what were like the best moments of the podcast? I think recently, probably one of my favorite episodes was the Family Feud episode.
Yeah.
that one
I
was
really liked that.
super fun.
And that was just like a couple of days ago or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I think like we started off just trying to like figure out what we're gonna do, and I think we've gotten a lot better at that.
I think we're still figuring that out.
We are still figuring
But
that out.
We still are, but I remember when we were struggling to come up with topics for the podcast, how that was just like a really stressful thing for everyone, but I know especially for Shmev, because at first it was just Shmev, or primarily Shmev, coming up with topics.
Every time.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time. Then we eventually split it up. But even at first, I remember splitting it up and it was still super
Yeah.
stressful. And at least for me now, it's like, It's not nearly as stressful, nearly as a big deal. It's a lot easier to come up with them.
For me, it's been like we'll come up with some idea, and then from that idea, we come up with different ideas.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's always just gonna kind of roll like that.
Which it's super uncommon to have as many people on a podcast regularly like we do. Usually it's like what, 2 or 3,
Yeah.
if that.
And there's
Yeah.
2,
5
mostly.
co-hosts. It
5,
doesn't happen a lot.
not a lot, but it does have the advantage of bouncing ideas off each other.
True.
Yeah.
So what's
is
your
true.
take? What's your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite part,
Just
from
one
the last
favorite?
year. Or just some highlights.
Just some highlights in general.
Oh, a couple highlights. Definitely the Andy thing that blew
We
us
have
up.
we have to talk about that because that's kind of what
Shout
made us
out.
as big as
So
we
how-
are.
That's why we have that stupid picture of Shmev and Andy.
Yeah, that was brought up in my family Christmas this year. My dad said something
Really?
like, "You're welcome for getting y'all's podcast, taken off."
It was all him.
Yep.
Oh, that's
if
great.
he
That's-
didn't do that
Thanks, man.
12 years ago, 14,
Thank you,
we might
Schmev's
not
dad.
be here.
Yep.
So thank you for throwing my turtle.
That
into
was
the tree.
just such a mind-blowing moment to see our video get more than like 800
Oh,
views.
wait, I don't think we
That
ever
was
talked about
insane.
this on the podcast, but so we we posted that video of Andy, and the first day that we posted it, it was doing like the same. By the end of 24 hours, it probably had 200 views, which for us at that time was like average. And then the next day, I'm door dashing, and I'm waiting for food at a restaurant, and I'm like, I'm gonna look at the TikTok, see if it's doing anything, see if we got one more new follower. And so I look at it, and the video is at like 3,000, and I'm like,
Yeah, that was
what?
insane.
And I text the guys, I'm like,
3,000.
look at this, is it 3,000? And by the time Leighton responds to it, it's at like 17,000, like that.
Starts blowing
And
up.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And then like Leighton keeps like saying 24, 30.
25.
He's like, this is insane. It's like,
I was losing it.
40.
Every
50,000?
yeah. And like
going.
the whole time I'm door dashing, I'm like driving, like looking at my phone because it like refreshing. And then it ended up hitting 1 million views. I don't know what it's at now. It's so far. I would have to scroll so far down.
It's up there.
probably like
2 million, maybe. by now.
maybe a little less
1.4.
because
maybe
eventually
1.5.
eventually it would just kind of stop, just like every viral video does.
Yeah.
But yeah, that video,
We got a lot
Andy
out of that.
really like took us off.
Yeah.
Oh, he absolutely did. Because I remember when I first looked at the Andy video when we had however many views, and I remember it maybe was only for like a short period of time, like maybe just like 30 minutes an hour. I don't know exactly how long it was on there. But at one point, with the sound we used for that video, we were the second video that
Yeah.
came up on TikTok using that sound.
Whoa.
The second most viewed video for that sound.
Yeah, like when you Googled, when you like clicked on just that one
Goggled.
sound,
Yeah.
we were the second video that came up, so that was insane. And then the other thing that obviously blew us up was our Badly Explained. That was the other
Badly
thing that
Explained.
definitely blew us
Well,
up.
when we then after that, I think we started like regularly posting Presley thoughts, and then we like rode
Well,
that
was
way
before.
for a while.
Presley
for a
Thoughts
while.
was first.
Yeah, and then Badly Explained.
We had the Andy video, and then that kind of trickled off. But then your Presley Thought videos,
the one with the
they started blowing up. Lasagna
spaghetti flavored cake.
that hit
Oh, yeah.
5 million.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it's over 5 million views, which is insane. If you would have told me that we would have had a video that was over 5 million views,
Yeah.
I would have said try 5,000. Like
That
I would
one-
have
If
been like,
that.
that is insane.
That one and the
claustrophobic.
yeah, your claustrophobic people don't realize your brain is trapped in their head.
yeah,
That one
that
hit
one blew
5
up, too.
million too, and then we reposted it, and it got like 3 million.
yeah.
'Cause that one has probably done that one's done the best out of any of them.
When you
Put
when you collect
together.
both videos.
Yeah.
So those are some good moments. I don't know, just overall, like I think when we started this, we're like, the important thing is just to start. We'll figure it out as we go. We'll get more comfortable. Because if you go to the very beginning of our TikTok, it is nothing like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Now there's all this like subtitles and editing and short, quick clips and the high quality video. The camera was a big upgrade.
Yeah.
And then
It
when
used to be
Zach's
so
mom,
fuzzy.
yeah, it used to be. Well, we did it off an iPhone camera.
Yeah,
Mine.
which is not too bad when you just have it like just staring at it. It looks a little bit, fuzzy.
A little bit.
But when you actually zoom into the image, like what we're doing for the
For
TikToks
TikToks,
and cropping in, you lose so much quality. But
Oh,
now
yeah,
they look pretty
for
good.
the YouTube Shorts, I refuse to put any of the YouTube short stuff that we did with the iPhone camera just
Yeah,
because
it
it is
looks bad.
so fuzzy. I'm like, no one's gonna watch this. It's
No.
in like, what
Yeah.
is I forget? Is it 140 or 180p? Like whatever it is.
Oh,
140,
it's
I
something
think.
like that.
Yeah, it's
It's
something like
bad.
that, and I'm just
144.
like, it is so bad.
Then you recycle the video and it just loses quality. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of it's hard.
I mean,
to think
Zach's
of-
mom giving us the
Yeah,
the
shout out to
equipment.
Zach's
My
mom again.
goodness,
That was
Yeah,
a
shout
big
out to
show.
Zach's mom for real.
We might would still, if she hadn't have done that, I don't know if we would have gotten the camera.
No, because like even though like we had that viral
well,
video,
she was the reason why we got the soundboard that we do.
Yep.
right?
Yeah, exactly. But if she didn't do that, I'm saying, would we have had to buy that first?
we
And
wouldn't
then
have
get
had
the
what we had.
camera. We wouldn't have the camera now. Like
Oh,
that.
no.
That just set us so far ahead.
Yeah,
What are you saying?
because just like even though you have a viral video, that doesn't mean like you're making money. Not really.
no.
So just and especially because of TikTok. So without her doing that, we wouldn't have the soundboard. We wouldn't have these good microphones. So it's like just because you have a viral video, out of that viral video, which was like 1 million views or something like that, when it finally hit that, out of that we grew like 20,000 followers.
And
So
the-
it's like you got to keep going and keep going to get further.
The thing with the Andy video, we didn't even get paid for that video.
Yeah, we
No.
didn't even get paid. That, was just a start.
that was before we started getting paid on TikTok.
Could you imagine?
Because
It's
you
a
have to
stepping
hit
stone.
a certain amount of followers. I can't remember how many it is to start getting paid. Maybe it might be 10,000.
And it was 1,000 before you could do live videos.
Yeah,
Remember that was fun.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was annoying when we first started. We're like, oh, we can do lives, and we're like, we need 1,000 followers.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we
Um,
got there.
I'm trying to think of my favorite moment. I don't even know.
All of it.
Well, the lingerie was fantastic. Putting a plunger on Zach's head, that sticks
Oh,
out.
that's a good one.
That was a really good moment. The fact that it stuck.
Yeah, that sticks out.
I
to
didn't know
me.
if that was going to
It
work or not.
sticks.
It
out.
sticks out.
I will say, I don't know if we want to name them, but a certain ad that we did for men's grooming, the ads that we did, those were so
Those were
freaking
funny.
funny.
Well,
They didn't
just
get
that
that much
that
attention.
sponsorship
Oh, they
in
got, like-
general sticks out.
They got no attention, but even with that, they're still a highlight for me.
They
They were so
fun to make
ridiculous.
too. Like all the cuts. We could probably make a full video out of the bloopers from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could.
But that sponsorship in general sticks out. That was really cool.
I remember the day you called me. He's like, "Have you seen our email?" I was like, "No. Why?" He's like, "This company just reached out." I was like, "What?"
And I knew
No
who they
way.
were too.
Yeah. Well,
And-
everyone did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. And then yeah, we've got a few more since then. But yeah, when you
One may be coming up soon.
Maybe.
yeah, but when you think about highlights and stuff, like I don't know, it's hard to pick. Like it's just one of those things. There's so many, I can't pick one.
Dressing up as Zach for the Halloween episode was really fun.
That was
That's a
really
moment.
good.
Stupid but funny.
Having DJ L on,
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was
is
enjoyable.
yeah, and that's still our most. I mean, not including YouTube Shorts. That's still our most
Yeah.
viewed video on YouTube, right?
Yes.
yes.
Not including shorts.
Not
Oh no,
including
not no,
shorts.
because Shorts. We've gotten Shorts that have gotten however many thousands of views
10,
now.
maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
On the
Oh, at
shorts.
least there are a
Maybe
few
20.
Shorts that got at least 5,000 views. I know.
But outside of TikTok, I mean, we're at 1,200 plus now on YouTube, which is cool because I know we talked
awesome.
about from the beginning how YouTube was going to be the hardest to grow.
Still is.
It still is. Like
Well,
even,
maybe Instagram, but
yeah.
That too.
As far as like podcast itself,
true.
because Spotify and Apple Podcasts, we have almost 70,000 plays on now. That's I'm happy about that.
The thing with like YouTube too, like it's super hard to grow, and we're almost at the point to where we can get monetized on YouTube because we have the 1,000 subscribers, but you
So
also have
close.
to get 4,000 watch hours on your podcast,
And shorts don't.
and shorts don't count
contribute.
for that. And the thing is, like most channels, it takes them a very long time to get monetized, and we've almost done that within a year. So that is a huge accomplishment
Yeah.
because that doesn't happen.
Oh no,
That's really cool.
It's again just I did this podcast solely for fun. I'd still say that's obviously my main, like that's the main reason why I do it still is for fun. Like I don't care about the financial stuff. Just if you would have told me that the podcast would have been as successful as it is, I would have been like, no, you're crazy. It's not going to be like, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but it's not going to be quite that much. But no, it really is crazy. And also thank you to all the people who are listening. It's cheesy and whatnot to be like, oh, thank the fans we couldn't be here without you. But I mean, it is very true. We literally would not be here without you guys tuning in. So we greatly, greatly appreciate it.
We can only rewatch our own videos so many times.
Yeah, Presley, he tried to do it like 10 times a day, and eventually he just
I
got too
invested
tired.
in 10 gaming PCs and had them all on repeat. And we still haven't gotten there.
I think one of the coolest things to me too is like just people that comment or that we know watch. We have no idea who they are, and they're still enjoying our stuff. Like it's one thing when there's someone I know that they might text me and they're like, "Hey, just watch this episode. That was funny." Like cool, but when we get a comment or see the reviews that we've gotten. For people we have no idea who they are. They live in like Wyoming or something. That's really cool to me.
I was going to say, how could we almost not mention this in terms of best moments so far? Zach Cook.
Yeah.
Having him both shout us out, help us with the Discord. By the way, get on our Discord. Help us with the Discord, and just all that he did. Just that was a really cool thing because he was one of the first people, if not the first person that I saw that actually shout us out that wasn't like a friend of ours or whatever.
Yes, nobody that we knew. And that's someone like him. That's a perfect example of him continuing to show in the comments and show support. And then there's people like that. And then Leighton Gaming recently, I was watching a little bit of the live stream. Can you talk to that a little bit?
About the TikTok?
Yeah.
Or what?
Oh yeah,
So-
tune in to Leighton live streaming on TikTok.
So
Gaming.
I started this out on YouTube because I was like, I really want to do gaming and live streaming. That's something that before even we started the podcast, I always like really wanted to do that. So like doing the podcast was super cool, but I'm like, I really want to try gaming and live streaming. So we have like a little bit of a following on YouTube, but not nearly as much as on TikTok. And so I have put in about like 25 hours, I calculated, of streaming on YouTube. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good amount. But it just didn't really get that much attention and traction. There was only, out of like the 24 hours, there was only one moment, pretty much one moment that was super cool. And that was, the username was Blackfire. He popped in the stream. And just like talking to him was super cool. And then he joined the Discord. And then like him saying like, oh, that was so much fun or whatever. Like that meant a lot to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, especially like you said, when you don't know somebody and they enjoy it, like that's like the coolest thing in the world. But then after that, I was like, I don't know why I just didn't think about TikTok for live streaming because I don't watch. I either go to Twitch or YouTube for like gaming and stuff. So I went to YouTube or to TikTok and started live streaming on there. Found a way to do it, and it just got a lot more attention, and started playing with some people too, and they were saying like, oh, I was sick today, but getting to watch your stream and letting them play with me on Fortnite or whatever, it's like, oh, that just made my day or whatever. So like that was super cool.
Okay, and I know that it didn't last. You only had this for a little bit, but at one point you had over 400 people watching you.
So especially the way
know
TikTok
that.
is, it just pushes it out to a bunch of people. So
as soon as the stream starts, it's like bam.
yeah, and then
But
it
then-
went down slowly. But still, to have like pretty much 10 people was like in there consistently throughout the whole time. That was cool. That was way more than YouTube to be that consistent. So I enjoyed that a lot. I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's exciting because we talk about how we want to turn this podcast into other things and branch out into other things, which is, that's a long-term thing. But seeing like the gaming thing and, having just a little bit of success live streaming and stuff.
Just to having a couple people is
Hope.
super cool.
Yeah, connecting with people too. I think that's what you were trying to do and accomplish that.
And that's something we want to do more of is connect with the people listening and that's a great way to do it is streaming.
Oh yeah.
Because
And the Discord.
it's tough because you see all these influencers. Like let's take TikTok for example, and a lot of big influencers they have like this community around them, and they can talk to them directly. Well, for a podcast, it's just it's harder because the thing about the podcast is, we're always talking to each other, and then the clips we post is all of us talking to each other and not the camera, and so it's harder to like. And the thing with TikTok is, if I did like just take a video of me talking to the camera to the ones listening, the way TikTok is and the algorithm, that video would not do squat, because what we always post, that's what we have to continue doing to get views. If we do anything different than that, it won't get pushed out. So like it's harder for podcasts, I feel like, to grow a community around it. But that's something like we really want to do, because I mean, for me, the better I can connect and relate to people, the longer I'll probably listen to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That's true. Like what you were saying with the TikTok too. Like when we had the Badly Explained series, like that's what was probably the most consistent thing that would get a lot of views over and over.
Yeah.
And that helped grow the channel itself. But just when we started like stop doing that and go to something else, it's like, okay, the views aren't good.
And
you
that's-
have to keep at the same thing, and that's annoying sometimes.
And that's something, I want to be able to improve on too, is not going through phases of things, just having consistently the same kind of thing every episode, but making it a little different. So you guys listening, you know what you're going to get, but every episode is different. Kind of like, we'll use like Seinfeld for an example.
Yeah.
You know what type of show you're going to get.
Oh yeah.
But it's
you don't know
it's
what it is.
you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen each
the situation
episode.
is going to change every episode.
Yeah. So I don't. The Badly Explained was great. That was cool. That got us views and whatever. Which views doesn't really matter that much. But
Yeah.
it was just kind of one of those things where we were on a high for a while, but then that kind of people get bored of it. It gets repetitive.
We
and
get bored of it.
we get bored of it, which it was fun, but we did get bored of it.
It kind of turned into a have to.
Yeah.
Like,
After-
oh, we
after
gotta
a
do
little
this
while.
to get
Yeah.
views.
Yeah.
It's like every time
yeah.
we have a recording session, it's like, well, we just have to do this.
Yeah.
And that too has kind of also been another challenge. Like, Shmev, how much of your week is just dominated by thinking about the algorithm?
Or just content itself.
So
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
content.
This is all I think about. It
At
really
work
is.
even, too. I'm
no,
sure
at
you're
work.
thinking about it.
Yeah. There's literally been times, especially lately with how busy we've been, where I'll sneak off into the office and I'll sit there for 10 minutes and just like scroll on TikTok and just look at stuff. I think about it all the time. But yeah. All right. So what are some things that we feel like we've learned from the past year? About yourself, about content.
How to do a podcast.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
that
I
is
can
definitely
I
one
can start it off. I have built a passion for social media through this thing, which I never ever thought would happen.
You didn't start that way.
I used to hate social media, and part of it still sucks. But when I was in college, I had a few internships, and it just so happened, I didn't plan it like this, but it just so happened all of my internships I did something with social media. Every one of them. First one, I worked with UT Athletics, and I helped with their TikTok and a little bit of their Instagram. And I remember when they said that I was going to do that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. I'm going to hate this. But the more I started doing it, like, I just loved it. I love to be able to create something.
Creative.
I love to be able to create something and then see comments of people that just like, it was UT based stuff. And so that would be pushed out to UT fans, and the UT fans that like love that content would give me so much, just like, I don't know, what's the word?
Encouragement.
Encouragement. And
Gratitude.
Slap on the back.
Yeah, and then I would go, and then after that, I
With a
went
slap on the
to
rear.
a recruiting and scouting thing that I did for an internship, and I helped with his social media and created like clips and videos. And then there were a couple that went viral that I made, and not ever thinking that would be the case. Like there was one where for this high school basketball team, this kid was the manager, and he had Down syndrome. And it was senior night, and he was a senior, and so they let that kid go in, and they were winning by a lot, but the Down syndrome kid went in, and he had a buzzer beater, like right at the end of the game. and like people stormed the court, and I was able to like go in and record it, and people storming, and that video did really well.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then seeing like how it did after I videoed it, and like knowing I did that, and so many people loved it, gave me so much encouragement. And so going into the podcast, I was like, I've done a little bit of this, and I love it now. And so now it makes all of this, like, you got to post on TikTok every single day, YouTube Shorts, Facebook eventually, Instagram. It makes it so much easier because I genuinely love it. And so that's why all the TikTok stuff, like, yeah, it's a lot. And it's not just posting stuff, but it's looking for trends, looking for, like, what podcast channels are doing to advertise their video, their podcast. It's a lot of studying, but I love it. So, yeah, that's something that I've learned is I have a big passion for social media.
I think another big thing that came along, it's kind of said it jokingly how to have a podcast, but really learning how to
Execute.
we knew how to talk to each other. Because that was the vision going into it, was like, we have hilarious conversations. We just have to record it. We have to capture that, do it in front of a camera, record it, and post it, and then figure out the algorithms of how to post it, how to go about doing that. But I think it was okay that we started off saying, you know what, it's going to be awkward, but we're going to lean into it. And I think that's
a theme of this podcast too.
It's crazy. It's like in the name. But yeah, we didn't judge ourselves too harshly. Like, I don't think we had any problems looking back at some of the episodes early on. I don't think we had any problems talking to each other. But if you look at how we do it now and versus then, we're still having conversations. But I think the way we do it has gotten a lot better, very comfortable.
And
so
much more comfortable.
Gotten a lot of compliments. I don't know if you guys have gotten this a lot, but I've had some people come up and say, just that a lot of podcasts that they followed from the beginning took them a long time to get to the point where they felt like, they weren't interrupting. It was quality. What they were saying was, I don't know, just worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got that very quickly.
Yeah.
It didn't take that many episodes to where you can kind of see not much of a difference between now and then.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's I mean, obviously that's a big thing for us, is embracing the awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something, like, for you guys listening and watching, that's something I think that, I don't know, we try to give an example of, is being awkward is okay. And awkward is not the same for everybody. Like, what's awkward for me, or like feels like it's awkward to me, may not be awkward to you. But what you feel like you do awkward may not be the same for me. Like, I think we say it, everybody's awkward. Awkward is just not the same for everybody. It's different. It's like, if you feel like there's something about you feel is awkward, like, that's just you, and embrace it. And I think that's something I've learned on here, is that it's okay. Because, like,
It's actually
what's
kinda
awkward to
funny.
me, just be yourself. What's awkward to me may not be awkward for the people listening. So, like, why be afraid of it?
No, you can learn to laugh at yourself. I mean, not make fun of yourself, but you can learn to laugh at yourself and to get through it. No, it's good to have your little quirks and have your awkward moments. Like, no, it's funny. It's good. It's nothing bad about it. So, no, I agree with you on that.
How to laugh at yourself, how to laugh at Zach. It's just all a learned thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Make
Yeah,
fun of
how
bald
to
people.
discriminate against bald people.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
the only discrimination we're for. But we are for that one.
Just baldness.
yeah. Also, a couple shout outs, and then we'll just continue what we're talking about. But Noah, obviously. Shout out to Noah for helping
meeting
us out.
Noah and having him help us was to me, I didn't even think to bring it up, because to me that was just implied.
Yeah.
That was just like, no, without Noah, that would have been, I mean, between friendship and just all that he did for the podcast. I mean, now we have, with the bald man not here, now we have Leighton helping with audio.
Yeah.
Which, thank you, because we definitely needed help with that. But
It's
no,
a lot
Noah
better when
was-
Noah does it, though. And it's one less thing to worry about.
It's one less thing for you to worry about, because now you have to multitask. But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it is. No, Noah was such a huge part of this.
Yeah. But I'm glad he's still going to be a part of our team. And another one, Chris. I think we should shout out Chris.
He's been on a
He's been on
handful
a
of
few.
times.
and he filled in. We had only 3 people one episode, and he filled in because 4 sounded a little better than 3.
Out of the
And then
blue
that-
too, just
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
And that was the lasagna episode,
It
right?
was, yeah,
Yeah, he also gave us our only spit of racism, which was fun.
yes, he did. Yeah, I feel like later on, like we can figure it out, but a way to have him on more,
Yeah.
without it being so crowded, was feeling crowded with 6 people, like trying to find his own type of segment every now and then for like a few minutes or something. Because Chris is
I think he
Chris is a
would.
very funny person. Now
I
we
think he
have to
would.
make sure that he's censored sometimes, but which he wouldn't mind us saying that. But
Yeah.
Oh no, he wouldn't.
he's very funny, and the more we can try to fit him into this thing, I think the better.
I think that would be good, and especially now. I don't know if viewers, you can obviously see it. I don't know if people hearing can get it, but we now have a new mic. I'm
Yeah.
using it, which means that because of that, we'll have an extra mic, which means that we now have 6, so we can actually have a guest on, and we have to figure out space and this or
set
that.
up and-
But it went from being very difficult to now at least a possibility.
Yeah. When we started, we shared 1 mic,
Yes, we did.
And then shared 2 mics.
and then 2,
And then we just
and
blew
now
up.
we just
Oh, yeah,
have
and
everything.
then Zach's mom helped us out a bit, but
Yeah.
yes,
And we used a tablecloth. I mean,
No,
we used a
we used my bed
sheet
sheet
as a table
as a tablecloth. I remember when we were doing it for the second time, I was like, we had something over this table. Oh, I'll be right back. I go to my bedroom,
yeah, he runs to his bedroom.
grab this blue comforter,
Which, you know
just
what?
spread it across. It looked fine.
It did.
It actually didn't
It
look
did
half
its job.
bad.
It's weird to think about. That's what it is. You wouldn't know unless I told you, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty funny.
Um,
And then also the rubber ducks. I love how
Shout
we
out
have
to the ducks.
expanded to the rubber duck.
Where did
everything.
that come from?
it was Zach's idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he the one that originally brought the rubber ducks?
No, he just had the idea, and then I had like a bag of ducks, which some of them are on here.
yeah.
Urkel's a classic. He was here from day one. I've had Urkel for a long time.
He's a day one guy.
And then Zach had some too, and then we just brought them, and then we expanded with a bunch of ducks.
We did, yes.
Something I was going to bring up too, and this is going to sound like I'm bragging. I'm trying not to, but it's just cool. Like the very few
I get so much more attention.
the very few people that have come up to us that we don't know and recognized us.
Oh,
That's really cool.
that's such a cool feeling.
And that happened to me more when I was at college because just
age range.
Yeah, our age and people on TikTok and stuff. But I had one that was in a class with me. I had one I was going into my dorm and they were walking out and they saw me and talked to me for a second and a couple more. But yeah, that's going back to like you have no idea who these people are and they enjoy the stuff you do and they're not listening because they know you. That's the biggest like
And
wow.
it happened in our first year.
Yeah.
Like almost
Organically.
organically, back to back to back.
And it hasn't happened much. I think maybe 4 people have recognized me and 3 were on a college
But
campus.
still,
Yeah.
That's still 4 people that recognize
Yeah.
you.
I've had it happen once or twice
Mm-hmm. At work, right?
at work. Yeah, just like me by myself. And then there was that time
Yeah, we should talk about that.
we went to get some
The
coffee.
time we thought they did, but we weren't sure.
that
I'm
was
pretty
funny.
positive.
Yeah,
I'm pretty positive.
you can
No.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
you
No,
can go.
I can't.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
All right, podcast over.
we were at a local coffee shop.
I've learned nothing from
and
this.
we walk out and like just go around the corner and I was the first one that saw it or whatever and they just went like this like oh my gosh just for like a split second and like started tapping her friend so that we go in the coffee shop and they didn't see it so then I told them I was like hey I don't know for sure I don't want to sound too cocky or anything but I think they know who we are
Yeah.
and so then we come back out and we're like what if we just sit outside because there was another table out there it's like what if we just sit out there and see what happens and so I mean
Sounds so
from there
cocky.
like y'all saw better
Well,
than
yeah,
I
it's
did,
because behind y'all, I was sitting where like this one girl was looking at me, and they were
but, like trying
It's
to
like
get
taking
big,
pictures, and that was weird. But
yeah,
just like oh I'm scrolling through Instagram on my phone
yeah, and then they kept like they would like talk and they would look at us.
yeah.
yeah it was kind of funny.
That was funny. And if the very rare occasion happens to where you see us and you know who we are,
Please say something.
Don't
Please
do
say
that.
something. Yeah, don't
Please,
do that.
please.
Just say something.
Please
Yeah.
say
Well,
something.
we
It was
just-
awkward.
We just said embrace your awkward. I mean, we can't have double standards here.
Be it's you can still be awkward and talk to us.
So it's be awkward, don't be a creep. Is that the message?
I mean, you know,
You know,
yeah.
don't be creepy.
because we might be awkward
joking.
right back at you. We
Yeah.
might be more awkward than you coming up.
Oh,
and
I
talking
probably
to
would
us.
be.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I
You think I talk to people outside my very close friend
You
group?
think I get out?
No,
No.
No.
if he does, he doesn't talk. He just
yeah.
sits there and waves at
I
you.
had something to add to what you were saying earlier about it being like so cool when people watch that you don't even know. I remember when we first started, just like briefly, I had like a goal in my head for like just a 1 year mark. This sounds so small compared to what we have now, but my goal was to have more people listen to the podcast that we didn't know than we did know.
Yeah.
So if
job.
we had like, okay, maybe some family and friends are watching, maybe like 20 people that we know watch or 40 or whatever, like to have more people that we don't know, like have 100 people that we don't even know. Like that was my 1 year goal. And now that sounds stupid because we've way over exceeded that.
Yeah.
So
No,
that
that
was
is
so
cool.
cool to
You
think
need better
about.
goals.
Yeah, I guess
need better
my
goals.
expectations were so much lower. I'm really shocked.
I didn't know if this would go anywhere at all. That's why we kept saying in
Yeah.
the beginning, let's just do this because it's fun.
Right.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So-
I mean,
and
that's
that's
the whole reason why I
still
signed
the
on.
case.
I mean, I
Yeah.
thought that there was a slim possibility that some would happen, but I decided to join because I'm like, oh, it's fun. Get to hang out with my friends. Get to be dumb and awkward. Like, no, it's good that way. Then
I
it started
also-
blowing up, and I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
being dumb and awkward, is, it's done wonders.
I've also learned too, like what you were saying we learned about. I've realized that I like the followers, getting more followers much more than I thought I would compared to like views. Because I don't know why, but in my head, like having the success was like, oh, you get like a popular video or something like that. But now it's like that doesn't really mean very much. I care so much more about like how many, like the community, like you were talking about, getting the followers. Because I keep looking at the followers number. I want that number to keep going up, and then the views will just come. But if you can get like a good community, then you'll get the views eventually. You just got to grow the followers.
Yeah.
So that was cool
Yeah.
to see that and get the nice comments. Like just the
Yeah.
other day, I think it was on Instagram or whatever. I saw this comment of like, "Oh, I found your podcast like a couple months ago, watching y'all on TikTok and YouTube, and it's just like, you know, I'm just gonna keep watching. I love the podcast." No clue who it was.
Yeah.
but that was like so cool.
Yeah. I think
That was my cousin.
Oh, dang it! It ruined it.
I'm joking.
It's got to be someone I don't know.
Oh, you're just
I'm joking. I don't know.
I think too, it's important to remember, like, and we definitely don't need to, be content. Like, it's definitely good to talk about every now and then what we've done, but if you stay content for too long, that's not good, because then you're just stuck on 200,000 followers on TikTok.
All right,
Sweet,
we're done.
yeah,
Nah.
like
We made it.
we did it. No, instead you're like, all right, now let's hit 300,000.
Yeah.
After that, 400,000, and then
Not
just keep
because
going.
we're not unhappy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's still like you can still be happy and joyous and whatever else about it, but you don't necessarily want to be content just because then because like you said, then you'll stay stagnant and you won't grow or improve. We still want to grow and improve, but it doesn't mean we're not grateful or
Right.
not appreciative of
Yeah.
what we've gotten this far, because we still love what we've gotten this
Right.
far. Like we're still extremely grateful.
Yeah, there was something I heard before. I think I don't even know where. I don't know who from. Maybe it was from a dream. I have no idea. But it's for I don't know, a few months. It's been in my head, and it said something like, "If you aim for past the moon, you're bound to at least hit the moon." So like, if you aim way past the moon, like way past it, then you're still gonna hit,
The moon.
the moon.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, let me aim for like 5 billion. And then it's like, oh, I only hit 1 million.
It's like,
Oh, we hit 1 million.
yeah.
yeah.
But then you just have
Those
to
are
make
the
sure that
goals.
then you appreciate that you hit 1 million and that you don't
Yeah.
then get disappointed and frustrated.
Yeah.
That,
Take it
that's the
for-
only thing.
Yeah, take it for what it is and use it as motivation to keep going.
Yes. Like, I'm sure The Rock is like happy that he's got, all this money and all this success, but
All the swole.
there's more he wants to do for sure. He is now the what's it called? There's a different football league now. There's NFL, USFL, I think is what it's called, and he is the he's one of the co-commissioners of that football league. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot that like celebrities want to do and they're still reaching for, but like that success still means a ton. That there's always more they strive for. But like for us, just starting out, like this is cool what we've done so far, but I think we always need to try to do more and continue to get better.
I think it's about drive.
It's not about power.
We
so,
stay hungry.
yeah, and
we
we
devour.
Yeah, and
Or if you're baking a cake, it's
Take
about
what's
wheat,
ours.
it's about flour.
It's about wheat. It's about flour.
yeah.
Stay hungry to devour it.
Then you bake it, then devour.
Exactly.
is not
here,
urine.
can I call us all out? Well, not call us all out, but can I put us all on the spot real
Yeah.
quick, just with a final thing? What are any 2023 goals? What are year 2 goals?
For podcasts?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that's what we'd be talking
or
about, opposed to
personal.
outside.
Okay.
No, just
I
personal
have
goals,
no
nothing
life
podcast.
outside of this.
Oh,
I figured I'd that's what I meant by I'd call us all out. It's like, what are our plans? What do we
Stick you on
want
the
to do?
spot.
try to make. I think this is okay.
Sorry, this
Try-
wasn't planned, by the way. This was very spur of the moment.
It's almost like an improv conversation.
Yeah, it's almost like what we do. It's almost like we come up with topics and then we don't plan or rehearse anything else.
Yep.
Improv
Anyway.
conversation.
I think, or at least my
High
goal
five.
is to make every episode a little better than the last one.
Yeah.
Like,
That just blew my mind.
yeah. So, I don't know. I guess I can like watch the episode. I mean, I think every episode I see things that I really like and things I'm like, yeah, we can improve on that. And I just never like say to myself, let's improve that. I'm just hoping we'll do better next time. But no, instead, like film the episode, look back on it, see, okay, what can we improve on? And then actually put time into improving what we could do better at. And just making every episode better than the last one until eventually we get to a point where there's not much we feel like we need to adjust.
So for me, I feel like there's like 2 different things as I'm holding Leighton Jr. here for
Yeah.
words of
Leighton
encouragement.
Jr.'s a little rubber
Little
duck, if
ducky.
you didn't know.
There's like one aspect which is kind of leaning more to what you're saying, like the content aspect of it, because like I think one goal, just making the episodes more watchable. Like
Yes.
I want to be like, okay, I'm proud of this, and if I didn't know who we are, I would come across it and actually watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be better and improve that aspect of it. But then there's like the numbers and the followers. What's so funny?
I'm in my own world. Keep going.
Presley
Sorry.
is just laughing nonstop over here.
Then there's the other aspect of the numbers, and I think for me personally, YouTube has always been the platform that I've wanted to see grow the most. So like I'd say just getting however many more thousand followers on or subscribers on YouTube, like how the growth on that would to me mean more than any other platform.
I agree with that, but it's like with things like that, I think it's okay. Well, what can we do to get that?
Right.
So I think, yeah, I think focusing on more of the content itself,
Right. That'll help us get there.
that'll help us get to that goal.
Amen.
Oh, yes.
Completely
And then
agree.
I think for me, one of my main I agree 100% with what you guys said. And to me, that is definitely one of the biggest things. Like, how can we improve? How can we strive to make each podcast better than the last? Whether it be you make it more watchable, you keep the awkwardness of it, but you still make it very entertaining. But if we look outside of that, if it's like behind the scenes stuff, I want it to be by year 2, we have all the equipment we need and we don't need to worry about getting any more. Because I know that was a big thing through year 1 to where it's like, oh no, we need a new camera, we need new mics, we need new cords. Oh, maybe we need some decoration. Oh, we need this, we need that. So it would be nice to find a more permanent spot than this eventually.
Yeah,
that would be
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that
that's
would
another
be-
one of my goals.
that would be another one. But for
Hopefully
me, it's
soon.
just like I want to be able to have all our mics. I want to be able to have like the ring lights we need. I want to be able to have this or that. Just all the equipment we need.
Nice background,
Nice
little
background.
stuff.
Oh yeah, just I would like to have all of that done by year 2, so that way year 3 we can be like, okay, we don't have to worry about the equipment and this anymore. Now we can just focus, and then we can also like maybe put money towards other stuff. Because for those of you who don't know, we have not made we've made money, but we have not pocketed a single penny. Because every single dollar that we've gotten, we've put it directly back into this podcast.
Yep.
Yep, which I'm glad that was something we agreed on. early
That was
on.
pretty easy for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
we're
was
just
I
like-
can.
That's why I think it was important to start off by saying, yeah, this is for fun above anything else. Because we enjoy being around each other and just doing the podcast.
Oh yeah, because as much as we all love money, as much as we're all Mr. Krabs,
yeah.
no, all of us agreed from the very beginning, like, no, like as nice as money is, this isn't about money. Like we really don't care that much about it compared to other stuff. Like
Yeah.
we want to see it grow, we want to see it be successful, but no, that's not the reason why we're doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the biggest goals. To speak to yours, I think considering all that we've accomplished in the first year, I don't think the equipment thing is out of reach.
No, I don't think it is.
We're definitely gonna have to do some things to get it there. Like more sponsorships would help. Hint. So if there's anybody that would like to be sponsored, hit us up. So that's something I'd like to see. More sponsorships. Working with other brands. I'd like to have some
Yes.
guests on.
Guests would be really cool.
Talk with other podcasters or just creative people or just people that are awkward, and everyone's awkward, so that means everybody interesting.
Oh yeah, I think branching out is another
Branching
one.
out,
Like
we could do a better job at that.
Oh yeah, like even if it doesn't mean like having to like make another channel, like I know we want to do that eventually. I don't know if that's quite a year 2 thing, but
don't
it might be. It may not be. We'll figure that out eventually. But no, just branching out in general with what you were talking about. Just like obviously we still want to stay consistent. Like we're not going to completely change everything. You don't have to worry about that. But just talking to other people, like you said, getting guests on, doing different things, just branching out to trying new things. I think it's fun. It keeps it from being stagnant and boring.
I don't want to stay in just the cone of what we're doing.
Yeah.
That goes back to what you said about like staying content but hungry.
Yeah.
Wanting to keep growing. I think permanent space would just be fantastic, because that's the thing. As we get more and more of this equipment, it kind of makes me nervous bringing it back and forth all the time, because we have to set this up. I think we've said before, every single recording session, tables, tablecloths, moving furniture around, setting up the signs, setting up the ducts.
We have to move pictures. Because if you
Pictures.
don't know, there's normally pictures on this wall. We have to take them
Just
down and put them back up
hanging
each
on
time.
string, and that is so much fun. I think the less we would have to worry about the setup, we could spend more time about the content
Yes.
and making that better. Like we need to be able to take all the other factors out of it when it comes to recording day.
Yeah. I completely
So
agree.
those are some goals,
I agree.
and I would like to make you just all that more uncomfortable next year.
Exactly. And the
Imagine how uncomfortable you were, and then double it.
Take it
Oh,
up a notch.
exactly.
Take it up a
exactly.
notch.
Then the only other one I'll say, I don't know, this is probably more like year 3 or 4 opposed to year 2, but I will say the final thing I wanted to say or include was I would love to add more to our awkward team, because Noah was such a great guy. Just the thing is, like we said, not a single one of us has pocketed a penny. No. So we can't really afford to pay someone right now. And Noah, that's one of the things that made him so awesome is from the beginning, he's like, oh no, I'll just do it to volunteer. Like, you don't need to give me this or that. He's like, I'll just do it.
Yep.
So I would love to add more people to our awkward team behind the scenes. Just I feel like year 2, I'm not saying it's impossible because it's definitely not, but it might be a little ambitious.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
What's cool too is like Noah just genuinely loves this so much. Like you said, like
He
we didn't have
does.
to pay him anything, and he's like, guys, I love this. Like you don't have to like pay me or anything. He just really enjoys it. So that's so cool.
Yeah.
And getting to meet him, like we didn't know him before this
Only Zach
podcast
knew
started.
him.
Only Zach.
I don't even like that much new people.
I know,
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
hard to like new people,
know-
but
I
I,
know-
like Noah.
I normally hate meeting new people, but with Noah, there's an exception.
Terrible, but Noah made it less terrible.
What was I going to say?
That's all you really can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be really nice to just be able to focus on the content and then have other people helping us out with the behind the scenes.
Like I would still
Stuff.
rather have us all run the show and run the direction of it, obviously. But it's going to get to a point where we can't do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And then the content's going to start, taking a step back because of that.
Yeah.
Oh no, we'll get there though. I'm proud of what we've done and what we've accomplished. And no, I think we've done a really good job. And again, thank you to all of you who listen and
So
make it
much.
possible for us to do this.
Yeah.
Because no, it is a lot of fun. Like you said, I mean, probably one of the biggest takeaways I heard from you guys was just being able to hear other people who aren't, I mean, don't get me wrong. Thank you so much to our friends and family who listen.
Yeah.
We're not saying that at all. Like, thank you. But especially, maybe Leighton doesn't feel that way, but the rest of us do. No, but no, just especially having like people that we don't know or random people who listen, tune into live streams, you know, maybe join the Discord or something, or just say something like, "Oh, I really like your podcast." That is such a cool thing. So thank you, because you make it possible for us to do what we're doing, at least to the success to which we've done it. So thank you.
Yeah. Here's one more goal for myself and maybe all of us. I want to stop saying, "Oh, I don't have time to do this today."
Yep.
I don't have time for that, man.
I hate
I don't
it.
have
I hate
I don't have time.
I don't
say
have time to say I don't have time.
I hate that. And I'm bad about it too. But if we stop saying I didn't have time, no, we
do
do.
it.
Make time.
You have time.
If we want it bad
Do it.
enough, we'll make. If you want anything bad enough, you will make time.
No
for
more
it.
Oh, yeah.
excuses.
That's what I've tried to do now that I'm in charge of the YouTube Shorts. I'm like, no, I need to make time to make sure I do.
Sometimes you like with TikTok. I don't want to do it. Like the thumbnails, especially this week. I made a thumbnail 8 days in a row.
Oh gosh.
And by like day 5, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. But after I did it, I was happy I did it. I had to do that. And so if we all just stop saying, and I mean, I'm bad about it. I'm not saying all of
I mean,
us do
all
that.
5 of us are guilty of it.
I think
feel
we
like
do,
there's not any one person that you're calling out. It's all of
No,
us.
mainly myself because I'm bad about it. But it's just stop saying, I don't have time for this. We do. We get on Xbox. Maybe
Oh,
not
yeah.
Presley, but
Yeah,
Usually
Presley's in
asleep.
bed.
we get on Xbox.
Always.
Maybe take 30 minutes out of Xbox time to do something.
Okay, Mom.
and then get on. I'm your mother.
Mama
But yeah,
Schmev.
that's another goal I just thought of.
Grandma Schmev.
Very much may have.
I think that's it. Is that about it?
That's about it,
I
Bubba.
think so. I mean, this is a bit of a longer episode, especially after our.
I figured
Christmas
it would
week,
be.
but-
2 hours long.
No, this. Oh, we're halfway there. Let's go more. Let's go more.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for a year. And you guys, the ones at the table.
Thank you. We're not thinking, Zach.
Hold my hand.
Nope.
All right.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Maybe no tradition.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys, especially the ones that have been here since day one, but all of you, thank you guys so much for tuning in for our awkwardness and our games and whatever else you're here for. Yeah, hopefully a year from now, the podcast will look different in a better way. Hopefully the content has improved, the setup, everything about it hopefully has improved in 2023, at the end of 2023.
Hopefully we can look back at this episode and be like, what the heck were we doing? Like we were doing everything so wrong. Like hopefully we can look back and be like, oh, we could have improved this, that, and this.
Right.
So
Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And until next time, thank you for joining us for a session of awkwardness.
bye.